tweeted it.
We're starting at a different hour, so if people don't show up, I won't feel too offended.
It's fine. Well, we haven't been around for a long time, so people should love us. 504 is here already.
See, 504, he's like, he couldn't resist. He's like,
that's a good guy right there.
Gotta catch the GadgetCast. 504 is awesome.
That's right. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
So I just tweeted it. It's in my community tab, and we're live on my Twitter as well. So there you go.
We are live everywhere.
Sean's in the house. Good to see Sean.
Let me tweet.
Sean needs a wrench too.
Tweeting.
Boop.
I gotta find my Amazon influencer email.
Oh, fancy. Your email. What do you mean? Why are you doing? Oh, are you putting something in the thing?
Hey. Well, I gotta do that thing. You know.
Yeah, I'm doing that later after this. Actually, me and Jason are gonna do one. I'm so exhausted, dude. I'm so tired. Hey, everybody! Look, everyone's pouring in. That's great. Scott and Jacob and
oh god, you know I haven't been doing this for a while. I typed in my channel. I'm like, where's the live stream? I can't find it.
That's how long it's been. Mark's in the house. Best podcast. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Subscribers. What?
Sean, these are the Q10s, just a different color, man. These things are the best budget headphones I've ever heard. What were we saying?
They're GadgetCast purple, I think.
Yes, exactly. That's why I kind of put them on. Yeah.
They actually look really cool.
Yeah, it's like the coolest thing, right?
Yeah,
these headphones, which have amazing bass, like they sound really good, are like $40 on Amazon.
Look at that.
Anchor, Soundcore, baby.
Best podcast. Look at this. Look at all these people. Oh my gosh.
Indeed.
I'm gonna tweet this out. Then you're really gonna see people pour in.
Oh, you know. It's gonna be nuts. Have they missed us?
I need something really clever for this tweet. We've been gone for a week.
The safest place on the internet where you won't catch that C word, which we can't even say now that we're streaming on live stream well, I guess we can.
I was like driving home, like thinking like, how am I going to introduce the podcast this week? Because we've been away for a week. And I was thinking like the safest and cleanest podcast.
Brought to you by phone soap and some wash hands. So yesterday on my live stream for the hashtag for the video yesterday was wash your hands. So if you go to yesterday's video, you see a bunch of hashtag wash your hands.
GadgetCast is live with the safest and cleanest podcast. I feel like I should like insult like another podcast and call them dirty.
better than the dirty podcast. Whatchamacallit? I forget what it would be. Yeah. Cleaner than your dirtiest thing.
Like a dirty podcast. Don't answer
the cleanest dirty podcast. What's up, Dennis? Good to see you. Mike West in the house. Jason in the house. Everyone starting to pour in. Listen to you guys, see you guys back. Yeah, Mark, it's Greg's fault. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I actually like about it. While I didn't need a break, I think it's cool because the comeback is always like, oh, you guys are gone. We missed you. So we needed you guys to miss us first. And then we can come back.
Yeah, I was like 2 seconds away from quitting, and then
it's perfect timing.
Come back, people are gonna love us.
It's funny, Tish. I was literally going to say that exact thing. Probably the other GadgetCast like, yes, finally they've quit.
Yeah, you know what? It would have been funny if they checked. Like, are they still uploading? And they caught us. They're like, oh, look, I think they're done. Have they uploaded, Travis? Have you been keeping tabs on them?
No, did they re-upload?
I haven't been keeping tabs, to be honest. They're too low on my list.
Yeah, exactly. Never wash your hands. Oh, Mr. Clean.
Are you feeling tired? Like, I'm feeling tired.
Dude, I'm more than exhausted. I told you why. I'm over the moon exhausted today. But we're going to have fun. I'm looking forward to the podcast all the time, man.
The podcast is going to wake you right up. Wow. Yeah. I actually thought like coming back in, we're doing it an hour early than usual because of my crazy schedule. But we have like 16 people in there. I'm feeling good about that. Like, different time,
Purellcast.
Purell.
Yeah, man. The Purellcast. We need to get that sponsorship, baby.
All like this past 2 weeks, all I've been thinking about is like phone soap. And I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, this thing.
You know how many phone soaps I've sold? Dude, I looked at my affiliate sales. Bruh, everyone's buying them, dude. Everyone. I had one person bought 5.
You're gonna watch like a documentary in 10 years, and it's gonna be like the phone soap king, and you're just gonna see like Travis.
Dude, I want
How
them
he
to.
built his empire.
I want to
Selling
get.
phones.
I want them to sponsor, like, I want them to be my sponsor, like D Brand is for Mr. Mobile, where like pretty much any video he doesn't have another sponsor for, it's just D Brand. So I sent them off another video or another email. I was like, look, man, look how many of these things I'm selling for you guys. Now, here's the other thing. They're selling a lot without me. So that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, I'm doing a great job for them, but they're already doing a good job. They were darn near sold out on Amazon the other day. So
Are they in stock now? Because when I
question.
went to go look like the other day, like I randomly looked, I'm like, I need to get one of these phone soaps, and I looked and I like couldn't order one, and I was like, scared.
Well, so I have a link. If you use my link to their website, you get 10% off. So that's actually the better deal for people. So let me put the link for phone soap, and including my little affiliate link. Gives me a little kickback, but more importantly, saves you 10% by using Travis MCP as the whatever it's called. Certain colors are in stock. It says Sean. Oop. What you want to do, and then you just need to put in the code Travis MCP to save yourself 10% off. Travis MCP is the coupon code because you know. All right. Well, we should get started here.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Just put your phone in soap and water. They're waterproof. I don't know if they're waterproof.
20 people in the chat.
I know, man. 27 watching overall because my Twitter. As soon as we can get it to the point where both our Twitters are live, it's going to be at least 30 people. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. We're already doing pretty darn well for a channel that only has 200 and some odd subscribers, which, by the way, that's a lot of subscribers really quickly. We've done so well.
I'm pumped. All right.
The question is, will our video podcast ever surpass our audio podcast? I mean, it's got a ways to go. Nah. But I mean, YouTube could. I mean, YouTube's fast. Sometimes YouTube, we become bigger on YouTube.
We need a viral moment, people. And someone a viral moment.
Literally. Okay, let's get this going. You got all this? You got everything? You know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
All right. Great. I'm sure it'll go well then. All right. Let's get this party started. Let's hit record here in like 3 seconds. Ready?
All right. Give me.
Now, you sure you're in multi stream and all?
I'm in multi. Let's.
Okay, ready. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, record.
Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of the GadgetCast, the cleanest and safest podcast anywhere in the world. You will not get infected from listening or watching this podcast. I am your host, Gregory McFadden, joined by my co-host, Travis, the Phone Soap King, MCP.
That's right, baby. We gotta hear some of these phone soaps, son. I'm not trying to have anyone get sick now. Me, someone cough, I walk the other direction.
I need to get in on this phone soap business. I need a phone soap so bad. Like every time, Travis, I go out into this dangerous world. I bring my phone with me, and then I go into like the bathroom. I wash my hands. I'm good. I'm following all the rules that everyone's telling me to do, and then I'm like, I was just holding my phone a second ago, like. Like in this modern world where everyone has like this device where they just pick it up all the time, I only feel like infection and stuff would spread more rapidly. I feel like our phones are our own worst enemy.
Yep. So John from Front Page Tech is in the live stream here for the podcast. Now, for those of you on audio that don't know what's going on, as I've tried to tell you time and time again, you have to come to the live stream on YouTube. I know we're much bigger in audio, and I know you guys love us on audio because of the crisp sounds of the audio, but you have to come to live stream. John from Front Page Tech says, is there a petition he can sign to have Greg replaced by a phone soap? And yes, there is. I actually have a phone soap right behind me. So yes, the answer to that is yes. And of course, our big fan, Daniel, says he can't hang around at 6 a.m. in Australia. So that tells you something. And he's got to hop on a flight. If someone's going to come at 6 a.m. and watch the GadgetCast, salute to you.
Yeah, that's some dedication. Wow. That's like blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I can't even get up at 6 a.m. Jeez.
No, I know. I that never happens for me. I totally don't do that. At the end of the day, I think so. For people who don't know what phone soap is, because there's probably people listening going, "What is this phone soap thing?" It's this UV light thing. You just put your phone in. Actually, I should put the link in the show notes for my little affiliate link. Yeah, we should do that. And you can get 10% off. But basically, put your thing in because your phone is 18 times dirtier than your toilet. And with all the things going on around, this thing kills things like staph, MRSA, influenza, which I assume means coronas as well. Coronas. My coronas. I think that's the word you can say. It's close enough that won't get you demonetized. Now, we're not monetized here on YouTube. And I'm not really worried about being suppressed on a channel as small as this. But maybe coronas is the right word. Who knows?
We're not bought out by the YouTube corporate overlords. We can say whatever we want on this live stream.
Yes.
People want to cancel me for phone soap. I'm very offended. I come back after a week break. People are saying cancel me. There's a lot of cancel me's in the chat telling me be replaced with phone soap. I feel so underappreciated. I want to, it's also like the day of like daylight savings. I'm like an hour less on sleep. I'm tired. I come back to this. World falling apart, and now people want me to replace.
Oh my God.
Too much for me to handle. It's too much for me to handle.
It's a big couple smacks in the hand. But listen, we have a lot to talk about because you came back fired off a couple of videos and you've been slamming it into the wall.
When I'm more popular than MKBHD, you guys are going to be sorry you said
that is true story.
That. You know what? I'll
as soon as that happens.
Give me another 1,000 years. Oh man. Real quick, big shout out. I saw like 25 people in the live chat. Like I said, we're doing this an hour early because of my schedule. I thought we wouldn't have like anyone in the live chat, but like, wow, I'm surprised. Look at this. This is awesome.
We've been gone for a week, so people miss us.
We've been gone for a week too. I apologize for that too. I didn't announce that on the last GadgetCast. If you're wondering, I actually went to PAX East, which is a video game convention. I wasn't there on like any official business. I actually could have been. I actually could have got press credentials, but I would have.
That's what I'm gonna try to get for West because I would
have had to like cover it, and I just wasn't prepared to do it. Next year, though, I might actually do that. But I went out to PAX East. It was a lot of fun, really cool convention. A lot of fear though, because of what Travis just said, the C virus, as I'll call it. C virus was all the talk there. Some exhibitors actually pulled out of that conference. Big names like Sony. And I was there to see like Last of Us Part 2 was supposed to be there. There was a ton of like great games that had to pull out like last minute. A lot of people still showed up, like Nintendo was there with Animal Crossing. There's still a lot of cool stuff to see, but you could tell like people were scared. People like I met some like really cool people. They were not shaking hands or anything like that. People were like, whoa, stay away from me. So I'm getting into this world now where like you can't even go up and shake someone's hand,
Crazy, man. We were doing fist bumps at church this morning. So let's answer some questions from the chat real quick. Josh asked what my headphones are that I'm wearing. Again, if you're watching the live stream, you can see these are Anker Soundcore Q10s, the most amazing budget headphones you can get. They sound freaking incredible. We'll have to get a link to that somewhere. See, Scott going there. Let's go here. Skipping. Yeah, this is what you get for skipping the podcast last week and making it earlier, Greg.
Yeah.
Wash your hands, hit that like button.
Hands and hit that like button. That's the best. I'm gonna have to use that.
Actually, I like this. We're gonna get a picture on Twitter of phone soap superimposed over Greg.
Oh no.
We need to put Greg in the phone soap from front page text saying that.
And I was feeling it. Like when I got back from that conference, I was like, I need to be in I felt that I wanted to be in a phone soap. I just like took a shower immediately 3 times.
Yeah, man, I love their products. I just wish they would just jump in bed with me because I love their products.
I used hand sanitizer instead of like soap. I was like,
yeah, and there's controversy over whether or not that even does anything, So
hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
It does things. It's like
it does things, but
it does the same as washing your hands. To be honest, if you can't get to a sink, what else do you have?
It's better than nothing. Yeah, it's better than spitting on your hands.
No, yeah, it'll kill the virus, but like you could just wash your hands. Like it's not a big deal. You don't have to run out to the store and be scared that there's no hand sanitizer, which I think is what people are doing. People are going to the store. I went to the supermarket this week too, and there's nothing. There's no hand sanitizer. There's no Clorox. There's no bleach. It's empty, folks. It's empty. The panic is real. And like I said, at PAX, people had to pull out, and that's we're seeing this now, Travis. A lot of things are getting canceled. A lot of tech events are getting canceled. Google I/O canceled, and that's not until what, May? That's like looking far out. They're looking far out. A lot of people got to plan this stuff, so they're going, no, we're not doing it.
You know what? Speaking of that, we should talk about a tweet that John Prosser, who's in our chat, just tweeted a couple of minutes ago in regards to iPhones. Did you see this?
Just now?
No, about 15 minutes ago. Let me see if I got to pull them up real quick, and maybe I'll share it on the screen. But let's look up good old Jern on Front Purge Tech. Or Jern Purser.
I looked up Jern, and I just see his Twitter banner, Jern 2020. That is great. That looks so official too. Oh my gosh.
What, on the YouTube channel?
No, look at his Twitter banner.
Oh, I haven't even looked at it. Hold on.
You got it.
Oh yeah. That's good.
That looks better than like the official candidates like slogans and stuff.
That is funny. So let's I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and we'll talk about it because it's right up. So John just posted this on Twitter. Here we go. According to a source within Apple, iPhone production is nearly 2 months behind. Repair parts may take 2 to 4 weeks to become available. Whole unit replacements could take 5 to 8 weeks. If your device falls out of warranty while you wait, Apple will cover the costs. And in some cases, Apple will offer you a loaner while you wait for repair or replacement. This is for iPhone 6S or later. If you have an iPhone 6S or 7, which, by the way, just did a video on the iPhone 7, in case you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. You will be given a loaner device, an iPhone 7 32 gig. If you have an iPhone 8 or above, you'll be given an iPhone 8 64 gig. So if you think about that, I mean, the iPhone 8 is kind of a beloved device, but if you have like an iPhone 10 or a 10R, you don't necessarily want to go back to an 8. You know what I mean? As far as like the Face ID and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's quite a different experience. John Prosser also has a toilet paper above. It looks like a flag on the White House, but it's toilet paper. And
of course. Is that what it is? You have to zoom in?
If you zoom in, yeah.
That's funny.
Great.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, this production stuff, I want to talk about this for sure. I saw some similar stories coming out that iPhone production may be hit, that things like iPhone 11s might be in short supply. I am all for that. I got a few iPhone 11s over here that I might be selling pretty soon. So we'll get that done. $2,000 for my iPhone 11. You guys need it. No, but this is like a very serious problem. We talked about this on GadgetCast before. Obviously, this has been a recurring story in our podcast for the past couple of weeks now. And we talked about the events getting canceled, and we talked about like this potential hit to production. And we were talking about future products. We were talking about, like the new iPhone SE2, the iPhone 12, Galaxy S20, all those devices. But look at this. Like, this is like the current smartphone lineup. iPhone 11s like could be in short supply. And this is a year where I think Apple, at least in the first earning results that they did for like their December quarter and stuff, like their big selling quarter, they actually did like really well. They beat their expectations, and that was due to strong iPhone sales. And from what I can tell, a lot of people seem to think this iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro is like a nice combination for them. But it looks like that strategy like might just backfire on them due to all like these production issues. If they can't sell the phone, like it's a huge issue, not only for Apple but for every tech company who's making a product. There's another company who had to delay something because of the C virus. I can't remember who it was, but there's some sort of delay going on. I know. I wonder if this is related to it. I have no idea. It's just my mind going. I have a Elgato H capture card. It's like a 4K capture card, and I pre-ordered that a while ago, and it was supposed to ship by now. And I got an email from Amazon basically going, "Hey, this isn't shipping on time." They actually gave me a $25 gift card, so I'm not too upset. But I wonder if that's related to it as well. You got something?
So yeah, we got a exclusive GadgetCast exclusive. Employees are being told not to do full device replacement since it takes new devices away from potential buyers. So in other words, if you have a broken device, they are not going to give you a new device like they normally would. They would instead give you one of these loaner devices, because in the normal exchange of Apple service, if you went in and something was jacked, they're going to give you, like, Apple's just going to give you a new one, right? Generally speaking. But what John's reporting here is that essentially you can only get a loaner, which by the way, I hope they're phone soaping those loaners. Because I mean, you know what I mean? Let's be honest. Phone soap, Josh, can you email phone soap and tell them how many times we have mentioned them on this podcast? Because this is ridiculous. We need to phone soap that. They're trying every spare device they can right now. Yeah. At the end of the day, man, you're going to get a used device if something's wrong with your iPhone. Now, here's the question. We know this has got to be affecting Samsung, but we're not hearing similar things. First of all, Samsung has they do have a couple of stores, not a lot. It's not like you go down the street, there's a Samsung store. But obviously Apple's not the only one that's going to be affected by this. So what happens if it wasn't for the fact that so many people might be returning their Galaxy S20 Ultras that everyone's on Twitter talking about returning, you might have a problem. Carriers and third parties won't receive their new stock for 8 weeks. Stuff is real tight right now, which we should expect. So the iPhone 9, if it does come out, is going to be tight when it comes out. So get your pre-order in.
It is, it's not sounding good for all this stuff in the tech world and just human health in general. I was surprised to see like how many cases are like going around in like places like Italy, and it's like, whoa. Like and then now we're hearing more reports and stuff in like the US. I know it's reached its way to my state of New Jersey. You've obviously had it in Washington and stuff like that. So this stuff seems to be spreading.
Yeah. So from what I understand, though, China is starting to recover. Although the problem with that, with hearing that, is like, what part can you trust? Because they very obviously, right? They absolutely lied initially. So what do we know about China? Is it getting better? Is it not? We don't know. We know that at some point it will, right? But we don't really know how long. I mean, China's, listen, there's too many people in China for that whole thing to be squandered. But we're in way trouble if China goes under, man. We are in trouble. Launch Fine 12 is going to have issues. So John is saying that iPhone 9 production is nearly finished, so they should be cool. 12 are going to have issues. Although the thing is, the question is, the iPhone 9 is going to sell like hotcakes, we suspect. So are they producing enough for the initial batch? Because the second batch is you're going to be waiting.
Yeah. And Apple usually does a pretty good job with the initial batch shipments. They usually have like a pretty good estimator of how popular a supply is going to be. Sometimes they do. I think with an iPhone, they definitely do have a handle on like how many orders they could expect with that. Obviously with AirPods, you're seeing shipment delays. We've been talking about that for a while, right? Since November, before even the C virus broke out, we were talking about how the AirPod shipments were low and how Apple didn't expect that to be so popular. But with iPhone 9, like obviously it's been in their production pipelines for a little bit, and it's also like it's a simpler phone to manufacture. They've been doing that like kind of design for a while, so I imagine even with like these shortages of productions, maybe they like have like a simpler process to do that. And they also have factories in like India that probably have the capacity to do like an iPhone 9 style update rather than like, like these I read something somewhere that Apple tried to do like a batch of like iPhone 11s in India, and for whatever like the factories like weren't up to like standard and they couldn't get it like done or something like that.
I heard Vietnam as a potential place too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But again, even if you move the manufacturing process out of these countries, the parts for these phones are still made in China. So if those factories aren't up and running, it doesn't really do you any good if you can assemble the phones in another country. If people aren't fabbing your chips, if people aren't getting you cameras or other essential parts to a phone, you think of a phone as like this one object, but it's made up of so many different chips and parts that any delay in, if the Face ID sensor where that's being made is delayed, you have an issue on your hands, even if everything else in the production line is fine. So it's a very complicated problem.
And again, this affects like all manufacturers, not just Apple. I mean, Samsung's going to get hit by this too. Probably. I mean, their next phone though isn't really until the Note, and hopefully by then they've got it figured out. Having said that, it could affect them too. So every year they've been kind of releasing the Note a little bit earlier in the year. My suspicion is now that won't be the case. It'll be kind of closer to when the iPhone comes out. I remember when they first started releasing it right before the iPhone, and then it's been like almost a month beforehand. I don't think that's going to happen this year, although the iPhone 12 may have just as much of a kind of delay. So I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting second half of the year where you might just want to have what you have now and stick with it.
I mean, I got my iPhone 11 Pro sitting in front of me, Travis. I got my Galaxy Z Flip. I got my iPhone 11. I'm good. Bring on the smartphone apocalypse. I'm ready. If anyone needs an iPhone out there, they want to, thinking like $10,000. Let's see how bad these shortages get.
Yeah, I know. I got this iPhone 7, son.
Hey, you bought that like jokingly. That 2 years, people when the great phone shortage starts, people are gonna be like, "Hey, Travis, can I get that iPhone 7? Like 20,000
iPhone 7, son. Let's go, son.
I need to browse Twitter. Come on, I need."
Yeah, I gotta get the rest of these renewed phone. People really seem to like that. So for people who don't know, on my channel, I released a video about the Amazon renewed system iPhone 7, which we've kind of talked a little bit about. And I'll probably still do a full review of the iPhone 7. This was more of a Amazon renewed review about the iPhone 7. And the idea behind it is they're essentially, Amazon isn't directly refurbishing these phones. They have a program by which third-party sellers can sign up and be qualified to have these renewed phones, which is supposed to be everything's newish, like looks like new. I will say this thing looks like new. Now, Greg, you've also bought a phone from Renewed, and it looked brand new, right?
I was trying to video last year. Money on the 10R, and I did a refurbished 10R video, and yeah, like looked new. Like it didn't come in like an Apple box. Obviously, you knew it wasn't new. It was Amazon refurbished, but like yeah, everything worked fine. Everything worked new. Face ID worked.
I'm going to buy a couple other phones. I'm going to do the iPhone 8 next, iPhone 8 Plus, I think, and then some Samsung phone, maybe a Samsung phone or two. But here's the thing, and I mentioned this in the video yesterday. I'm going to make a bigger deal about it later on. So the the spec on the page says that it needs to have at least a 70% battery health. Now, first of all, thank goodness Apple even has that capability in the settings of the phone. Thank you, Apple, for that. It needs to have at least 80% or higher. I don't know if I said that. I might have said 70. 80% or higher. This one has 70%. So I might want to return it because it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, the fact that I can even check that is spectacular, right? Otherwise, I would just say this thing's battery life sucks. But iPhone 7s must suck, right? But here's the other thing. When I looked at Android Renewed, now remember, it's the same program. They don't have, because there's no software, there's no inbuilt software that tells you what the battery life and battery health is of the battery on an Android phone. They don't have that same specification for Android phones. So you could buy maybe a Note 9 with like terrible battery life because it's just been run through the ringer and not know it. As long as it looks new and works, that's the only specifications for that. Then I mean, you can still return it. You got 90 days. But at least for the Apple side of things, Amazon calls out at least 80% battery health. So, I mean, while you do have a longer extended warranty and everything, and that's great, the fact that because Google doesn't give Android that capability yet allows people to then be kind of loose and kind of loosey-goosey with what they're selling. I don't know. I'm excited to do the videos.
I remember my 10R was at 100% when I checked the battery health, and that was actually a controversial part on my video because I had people in the comments telling me, "Oh, and when you do a reset, it resets the battery health," and I'm like, I don't think it works like that. So I'm glad you can confirm to me that it doesn't work like that. People
now, Tech Level Mama, I actually mentioned this in my video. Is there an app you can download? Probably. I don't know which one to download, and I do know one thing: there's a lot of apps on the Google Play Store you do not want to download because they will steal all your Tinder pictures and put it everywhere. So I'm not trying to do that. I'm gonna let Google figure this out. Go ahead, Google, figure it out.
I have a ghost hand.
What are you doing, dude? Oh. Again, you have to be live watching on YouTube. You can watch the replay. The replay is available for you.
Little effect going on. I got a nice little ghost hand.
So
what happens when you go to PAX?
Any of the people listening on audio, just come to the YouTube channel /GadgetCast.
You gotta check out my ghost hand.
Gotta see his ghost hand.
Not gonna say anymore. Oh man. All right. C virus. Enough. Let's get positive.
Now, let me ask you about this Mac Mini, because that's actually something. If I were to get a Macintosh, we can have 36. All right, we're doing it big. I would consider.
Oh, I'll take a moment to derail the podcast. This is the most live viewers we ever had. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
It's a record. I told you all we can do is take some time off. Let's take another 2 weeks off, see what happens.
Yeah.
No, no, we can't do that. So I guess the question then becomes this. So if I wanted to get into the Mac Mini game, is the one that came out a couple years ago good, or should I wait for this potential new one? Do we feel like this one's going to be not too expensive and maybe on point?
I mean, you have to see what they do with it. I don't think we're expecting any major upgrades with this Mac. All right, number one. So this all came out of a tweet by CoinX. He's been like a very reliable leaker in the past. Gets like detailed information about leaks down, like the iPhone's weight, how thin the iPad Pro was, the name of the iPhone 10R. Which how can you guess that? That's so like accurate and all. He had like one iffy tweet where he said like, "There's gonna be one more." He just quoted Steve Jobs basically saying like, "And there's one more thing." And then there wasn't like one more thing at an event. So everyone's like, he's not reliable anymore. Listen, this guy got like detailed inside information right like a bunch of times, had one miss. And technically it wasn't a miss. It wasn't like he was saying, hey, expect Apple AirTags at the event. He just did a quote. So I don't even count that as like a full miss. So this guy's like really reliable. And then all of a sudden, this week he tweets out, new iMac and Mac Mini update soon. iPad Pro triple camera 100 or something like that. iPad camera upgrade 100. So we knew about the iPad camera upgrade potentially. I didn't know anything about a new iMac or new Mac Mini. That is the first update I ever heard of it. And I'm gonna let you guys know something that I'm lining the dots here. Mr. Rene Ritchie was in New York City. You know, he gets invited to all the Apple press briefings. When they do Apple press briefings on the East Coast, it's in New York City. So, you know, me being a conspiracy theorist, I'm like, you know, Renee's in Canada one day, he's in New York City the next day. I'm thinking that Mac Mini and iMac, I would be, I would actually be surprised if you don't see a nice little press release on Monday.
Oh, you think it's coming up the day that we release this podcast to the rest of the people?
I'll put a bet out. I'll stake my reputation on it and say Monday. Well, I just think it's gonna happen.
That's not really staking much, but listen, let me ask you this.
Anyway, Mac you asked about that upgrade. Yeah. I think it'll be like a spec upgrade. Obviously, I don't think they'll do anything with the design. The spec upgrade could be significant if they do something with the graphics. I don't know if they can with like the thermal design of the Mac Mini. AMD does have like new like 7nm graphics cards. Obviously, if you can fit them into a laptop, why wouldn't you be able to fit them into a Mac Mini? That's how I think about it. If there's like graphics upgrades for it, it's like my only complaint about the Mac Mini. I reviewed the 2018 one. It was a great little machine. If you're looking for a Mac to like connect to a monitor, had like a 6-core processor, was pretty powerful. You could replace the RAM yourself, but it's kind of like a dicey upgrade. But you know, the fact that Apple even put that in there is like a nice thing. But yeah, it was a really nice Mac. For this one, I would expect CPU upgrades. Obviously, there's new CPUs, maybe like Wi-Fi 6 and stuff like that. If they're using 10th generation Intel CPU, so some nice like little updates like that you'd probably want to wait to see what they offer. And then the graphics are the big thing. I really want to see if they do anything with graphics cards on it, because the one complaint with the Mini was like, yeah, it just has like a, you know, like a, what do you call it? Not a dedicated graphics card, like just an inbuilt graphics card. So if you want to do anything serious with that, like you really can't, and you have to like connect like an external GPU, which is okay, but like it kind of defeats the purpose of the Mac Mini. Like all of a sudden you're connecting like a giant big box to it. So I'd really like to see them at least offer the option to pay more to get like a dedicated GPU in there. And it doesn't have to be the best thing in the world, but it has to be decent enough to where like, yeah, I can make like a nice Final Cut editing machine out of this. Yeah, I can play like a game or play a game on Mac. But yeah, you could do that kind of stuff. You could do like 3D animation. I really think that's like a nice point for the Mac Mini. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it, because it took them 4 years to upgrade it since 2014. The 2018 one, a lot of people liked it. It wasn't the perfect machine, but a lot of people liked it. A lot of people were happy that they upgraded it. And I'm shocked that they're even upgrading it again. I almost thought like all these. Oh no.
Oh, Brian's gonna tweet some
bad news. Is he gonna tell me he's gonna tell me my prediction was wrong and it's not coming out Monday? Mini and he's CoinX and he's been lying to us.
John is CoinX. Real quick, I want to get to this tweet because we actually talked about this in the last GadgetCast. Is there going to be, so again, if you're listening to the audio podcast on our live stream, is there going to be an Apple TV refresh? I caved and bought one slightly discounted 165 renewed from Best Buy for the 64 4K version, wondering if there's going to be a new release anytime soon. Now, I talked about this last week. I have the 4K version. I think it's amazing. I can't imagine anything that is needle changing about a newer version. They've done this before in the past. The 1080p had like 2 different versions, I think. And they're really, what can they do? What can they do? I don't feel like anything is going to be worth it. Would they make out an 8K version? I doubt it. But even if they did, so what? If you're playing games on it, different story. Otherwise, I don't see anything you have to worry about. Let them release a new one. Let it drop the price of the other 4K and buy that old 4K one because it's amazing.
Yeah, Travis is completely right. The only thing I would expect with Apple TV is maybe a more recent chip upgrade to support Apple Arcade games going forward. If you aren't into Apple Arcade on Apple TV, which I imagine that's the majority of people buying an Apple TV, I really wouldn't worry about it. Obviously, we'd have to see what they update, but if it's just a chip upgrade, like I use my Apple TV 4K all the time. I don't think it feels slow or anything. It processes video, like video looks great on it. I struggle to think what else they could do with that except maybe drop the price and then do a chip upgrade. So,
yeah, I don't see anything that you need to be concerned with. I mean, if you just look on the video portion of what's out there, there's no streaming 8K. I mean, I guess YouTube. But other than that, there's no reason. So no, you did good. You did good. Someone got the coronavirus. What?
I mean, you're technically right. Someone
a lot of people did.
Coronavirus.
A lot of people got it. A lot of people around me, which is crazy.
Real quick before we move on. Mac Mini. That's what I expect. The other one was the iMac. Again, that threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting a new iMac because this is so like recent. I haven't heard any leaks in the supply chain. The iMac is like a small enough product where maybe you don't see like leaks that come out about like a new design, but I would really doubt it, which is sad because I really want this thing to get a redesign. But again, I would also expect that to be new chips, new graphics. So if you're waiting to buy, I would wait if you want like the most recent thing. But if you're looking for a new design, I think we're going to be sad.
Yeah. So here's the message. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on GadgetCast that this was almost definitively going to happen. John Prosser tweets, according to a source within Apple, Apple's March event is officially canceled, not happening. Of course, it was never announced, so it's hard to call it canceled. It's actually lucky for Apple that they don't actually have to cancel anything because nothing was happening. But he's going to check a couple more sources. Stay tuned. So not terribly surprising at this point with so many things. Like South by Southwest is being, canceled. Like it's, I mean, here's the thing. Samsung slipped in with their S20. Like it was just around the time where people were like, go, it doesn't matter. If the S20 was being announced this week, they would probably cancel as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good thing for Apple to cancel, especially now in the US where you are seeing a lot more cases happening. It's sad because I love events, but in a way, it's also like it's also an opportunity for me to do my job a little bit better and inform people of the upgrades and what's going on. So in that respect, it's okay. But the important thing you have to keep in mind is even though that John is saying that his source is saying within Apple that this March event is officially canceled, the second tweet after that is keep in mind these products will still be announced and released either way. So even though you won't get that event, it is sad. I like the events. I look forward to it. As people in the tech community, you like watching those events. Mm-hmm. But the products are still going to be released either way. So that's the important thing.
I have some breaking news.
Okay. We're breaking too much news.
We need like a sound effect in the little lower third to go breaking news. Breaking news. I just heard from my source at Phone Soap that they are almost completely sold out until May. So right now, I put a link in the description, and I'm not kidding. He goes, Amazon is almost completely out, and their website is almost completely out, and they will be out till May. Go to the link in my description, in the description or in the show notes. Use my coupon code TravisMCP. Order it now. You will save 10%. It's the cheapest place you can get it anywhere. But get it now. And everyone, if you have not seen my video about this, go back on my YouTube channel when I did the accessories video, and I talk extensively about Phone Soap. After you see that video, you will want one. And trust me, get it now. literally, I just saw the email. They are about to sell out for just about good, like for good until May. May, that's a long time, man. Get your phone soaked now, son.
This is the C virus panic, people. And
oh my gosh, man, it's crazy.
Is there a stock I can invest in? Like, is Clorox a stock? Like,
when they were on Shark Tank, we should have been a part of it. Holy monkey. That's the cut. I'm gonna have to tweet that later on. That's my cutting edge news right there. Amazing. So good for them. Yes. Man. Okay. it's everything is going sideways. No March event, which is not surprising. We talked about the possibility of this, and it's fine. Like, the cool thing about this is for Apple, and Samsung can take note of this. Apple's already done this. They've already released things on the website. They had that week of like 3 or 4 things that came out. Remember that last year? So they've already done this. It's not like, oh my gosh, how do we do this? It's like, all right, well, just start releasing on the, this isn't the iPhone 12 announcement. It's not the end of the world. You just release it on the website.
But it is an iPhone announcement. It like if the SE2 is coming out, and this will be like the first. This will be like the first time any iPhone has just been like press release.
Sure.
Which for them, I think is like, that stinks. But I will say this for Apple. Look at AirPods Pro. Look how fast those things sold out. Look how hard they were to get even before this C virus outbreak.
Yep.
You can release a product in a press announcement and it will sell fine.
Yeah,
Apple
100%
that now with those AirPods Pro, because those things just took over crazy. And
by the time the 504 says, by the time phone soap gets back in stock, beer flu would have been cured. Well, funny you say that. I actually saw something earlier today that they have they've tested, and apparently there is like a shot coming that looks like it does kind of take care of it. But that doesn't mean you still won't get the flu or cold or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never had an event for the original SE too. What did they do for that?
No, they did.
Did they?
Yes.
They did. I was gonna say, when they must have, right?
Yeah.
Has there ever there's never been a phone. There's been all ancillary stuff.
Hasn't had an event. I know there was an event for the SE because I did some research on it recently, and I watched the event. So, I'm crazy. But
you know what I need you to do, because for my iPhone 7 review, I actually want to find, because these things kind of end up being hard to find. I guess I could just look on YouTube for something. It's got to be somewhere. I want to find the original event for the iPhone 7.
Yeah, I don't type on YouTube iPhone 7.
you think it's on there? Because I don't know if Apple's hard. 100%. I don't know, because Apple's hard about that stuff, right?
I'm gonna do iPhone 7 event. Look at this. Ready? First result, September event 2016. That's when they announced the iPhone 7. Right, it's on Apple's official YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is?
Yeah. 1 hour, 59 minutes, 16 seconds.
Yes. Great. Because I need some of the clips for that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Greg.
You're welcome. Oh man, what a show.
What a show indeed.
We got to talk about one more thing.
Yeah. We're not in a hurry. We're only 35 minutes into this thing.
As the great Steve Jobs once said, there's one more thing.
Okay, this better be good, man. This better be good then.
Oh, no, it's not that good. Sorry. This I want to talk about this because I think there's a discussion to be had here. Galaxy S20 launched in this GadgetCast where we skipped a week. S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra, Travis, $1,400 phone. We've talked about this phone. It's an expensive phone. There's issues with this phone, particularly in the camera department.
So can I talk a little bit about this? Because I made a lot of videos about this before it came out. I didn't make videos about the camera itself being like suspect, because no one really knew until it got into the hands of people. But I saw a lot of people on my social medias ripping on reviewers about being too harsh on the phone for reviews. They said, just give it a chance, give it a chance. Then they got their phones and then they ripped it apart. And now they're talking about returning them. And I'm like, a lot of these reviewers, like, you should be able to find a reviewer that you can trust their opinion on. And I'm not saying that should be your one and done, and that's the only thing that you need to concentrate on, whether or not you buy something is based on one person's opinion. That's not what I mean. But it was like a group of people were not believing what some of these well-established creators were saying. And while they wanted to see it for themselves, and rightfully so, are surprised that it's as trash as everyone's been saying. I don't understand what the surprise. There should be no surprise in this. This is no surprise in this. So listen, I didn't get one. I had no intention of getting one. But I wouldn't be surprised if I did get one. I would not be surprised if I got one. I was like, yeah, it's what I expected to see. I expected to have suspect cameras. It has suspect cameras.
Yeah, and there are times when reviewers get it wrong. And you should always test the features for yourself. There's plenty of cases I could point to where reviewers got it wrong and whatever. But we heard about these issues with the S20 Ultra, and it wasn't like one reviewer saying it. It was
no, that's the point.
Review. That's the point. Yeah, it's the great. Yes. That's the point to make. Every reviewer was saying like there's focusing issues with the S20 Ultra. The 108 megapixel mode is kind of like gimmicky. Like you really don't see many of a difference. Some of the reviews I read were like going like like the regular S10 and S10 Plus take better photos than the S20 Ultra and don't have any of the issues. The 8K mode like. I've seen like the rolling shutter in it and just like bad quality all around, like stuff you wouldn't really want to use in a smartphone phone. Most people aren't setting this up on a tripod. They aren't taking time to manually focus. A lot of the people who buy phones, it's like, hey, I want to take a picture of my kid. Hey, I want to take a picture of my dog. And if the autofocus isn't working, it doesn't matter like how, you can manual focus it and stuff like that. Like you could throw all the excuses you want to get like this great photo, but if the camera isn't consistent in a smartphone when you need it to be, you're going to be like very upset. And I was surprised to see this turnaround. I can understand people being skeptical of reviews. I can understand people going, I want to test it myself. That's fine. But it was interesting to see this kind of change of mind so quickly of like, before they have the phone, it's, well, I don't believe it. And all of a sudden you get the phone. And like you said, I've seen the same tweets of people going, I'm going to return this. Where's the update? Samsung said there would be an update. They promised us. And it's like, you believe these, you need to be more skeptical with these companies because these companies will promise you anything to buy the phone sometimes. And I see this with, the Pixel 4, like I feel like I need to revisit this phone in like this like post S20 world because I feel like the Pixel 4 now, like it's actually had some like, I guess like unofficial price drops, like through like carrier stuff like that and retailers. And it, like at the time I was like expecting like a new Galaxy phone to come out for like $800. That was like really good. But now I look at the Pixel 4 and it's like pricing against like the S20 and I'm like, maybe that's like the better phone to get for like a consumer, especially when it's not having all of these issues.
Well, so it's funny. There's a couple questions here. It's a great camera. Let's hope the patches eventually work. I like the build of the phone otherwise. I saw a video from someone in Korea who has the patch and it made no difference. Yeah. So there's that. Travis, would I recommend the OnePlus 7T over the Galaxy S20? That's a difficult thing because it's two different things. You're talking about like a $500 phone, which is excellent, more than excellent for $500 versus, $1,000 or $1,200 phone. For now, yes, but it's just kind of a weird thing when the OnePlus 8 is coming out. It's right around the corner. So to say that over top the S20 is a very difficult thing because I think they're apples and oranges. And I think that a lot of these things will be squashed with software. I hope, but what I really hope is I hope that all these other companies that are watching what's going on with Samsung right now realize you better not try to kick something out and then sit there and try to patch it after the fact because you will get roasted.
And listen, I actually got some flack about this earlier. I forgot about this. I even tweeted this. I said like one of the controversies, I forgot we skipped a week, is that reviewers were reviewing this phone and people were saying you should wait to review it until the patch is out. And it's like, but people are pre-ordering the phone. People are putting their money down. They need to know this information right this second. Now you could do an updated review if they actually release the patch and everything's fixed. You can go out and tell people, oh, they fixed hey, greatest phone in the world. They fixed it. They promised everything. But you can't just take a company at their word. They shipped you that product. They said review it. You have, as a reviewer, it is your duty to review the device in its current state. When Apple shipped the iPhone 11, it was buggy. I said in my review, I said, hey, the software on here is buggy. Apple's promising they're fixing it. They released a couple updates that are coming fast. They fixed it. Another thing that wasn't ready when the iPhone 11 came out was the Deep Fusion mode. I said that. I said, hey, Deep Fusion isn't ready yet. You might want to wait to buy this phone to see how good of an upgrade Deep Fusion is. It's not available on the phone yet. You have to wait for an upgrade. It's a promise. And there are times where companies promise software updates that never come out, or when they come out, the product's still bad. I'm guessing the Ultra is more of a hardware issue based on the fact that it's using a 108 megapixel sensor and all that stuff. I'm not even sure if these issues with the Ultra can be fixed via software update. Maybe they can. I'm not sure. That's because a lot of the S20 and S20 Plus, they're not facing these issues. So can the software truly fix everything?
I think they're trying. I mean, they definitely tried to push the envelope, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But you should know before you kick this thing out that it's not performing at the level at which you're charging.
This is the most important distinction. It's not like they released like the $600 phone that has like the focusing issue. This is the best phone. They told you this is the ultimate phone, $1,400. You're paying extra to get this phone instead of a regular S20 or S20 Plus. And if it's not better in like almost every aspect, and one of the most important aspects of a phone is the camera, and they are selling the fact that this is a 108 megapixel camera with this 100 times zoom, blah, 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 blah. They are selling that to you. That is the biggest upgrade on the Ultra. If it's not working, it's not good. Don't buy the phone. And if you have an S20 Ultra and you're having these issues, you're in a difficult spot, because if I was the customer and they promised like a patch and I'm still waiting for it, I'm getting worried, because your return window is slowly fading away. And let me tell you, in 2020, I cannot carry a smartphone with a bad camera. I can't do it.
Nope.
I'm not. No, absolutely no.
The biggest thing here is that this is the year where Samsung is gone. You know what? Instead of going backwards in price, we're going forward. Like, we're just straight up, we're forgetting about last year where we were going, $750, that sort of thing. We're out. But $1,400 is setting a dangerous precedence, which I've been talking about for a long time. I don't like that they went that high. You could say, well, you wanted the tech. Well, first of all, I didn't want $1,400 tech. I don't know of anyone that was asking for $1,400 tech. I think people wanted more value, and that's always going to be a winner. Value is always going to be a winner. So I think that, of course, the launch of this is a minor fail. I don't know what the sales have been like yet. I do remember hearing something about them not being particularly excellent, but we'll find out over time. And hopefully this dictates a much better 2021, where the S21 becomes a product that is the best of all worlds, a good price and a good product. You look at the S10e last year, probably was the favorite for some people.
Favorite Samsung phone last year. I got the S10e. Go look at my channel. I reviewed it and said, this is a great phone. And it's still one of the things that's still mind-boggling to me about this S20 lineup is the fingerprint reader. I'm listening to Viper and he's saying it's garbage still. And it's like, there's good phones with inbuilt fingerprint. The OnePlus, right? It has like a good fingerprint reader, like in screen and stuff like that. Yeah. And you look at one of my things with the S10e of last year, as I said, they didn't do the fancy inbuilt fingerprint reader. I have the flip right here. It's not the S10e, but you have a fingerprint reader on the side for people watching the live stream. This thing is so fast and accurate. It instantly reads your fingerprint. It is an excellent fingerprint reader. On the S10e, you got a better experience unlocking your phone because they didn't put like a bad fingerprint reader in the screen. Yeah. Even though it's more futuristic and it's like, oh, that's cool. It's like, yeah, but the regular one, like, it works better. It's faster.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, it's an interesting year. We will find out more this coming up week, I'm sure. As the information that was tweeted by John Prosser during this live stream has been interesting, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we hear from Apple and all the other companies soon. We see an update from Samsung. Keep an eye on this channel for more.
Keep an eye on GadgetCast. I think, like I predicted, our next show is going to be also jam-packed. This was a jam-packed show.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez. But yeah, just to close out this S20 stuff, I'm rooting. I hope the patch fixes everything. I don't want people to spend a bunch of money on a phone and get a bad phone like that.
Well, in a lot of ways, I want the S20 Ultra to fail. I don't know about the other ones. I want the Ultra to fail specifically because...
All right, Travis wants you to have a bad phone. I want you to have a good phone. So
no, that's not what I'm saying. I want the Ultra to fail because I don't want to spend $1,600 on a note, which I know I'm going to have to.
Oh, you want the
and then
interest of the pricing strategy to fail.
Yes, I want the pricing strategy to fail.
I got you. Travis is pro consumer because he wants cheaper smartphones for everyone. So
yes, that is my thing.
He wants your focusing issues fixed, but he also wants the sales to be low.
Yes, I want the sales to be super low so that they don't do this garbage next year. I'm not paying no $1,500 next year or $1,600. I'm not doing that.
I'm waiting for the YouTube video where Travis has his hand. It's gonna be like this. Be holding up his note 20. He's gonna go, I bought the $1,500 Note 20.
I mean, maybe happened last year. Okay. Real quick for everyone who's we've hit another record, almost at 40 consecutive, which is great. So we are going to do I got to talk to Greg about that. I got to convince Greg of this. In an upcoming live stream, I don't know, it's going to be a big event though, whatever it is. I'm going to attempt to get it. I want us to have over 100 people, close to 200. And the way we're going to do it, and watch Greg's expression, everybody, is we're going to simulcast on Greg's Gadgets, Travis MCP, and GadgetCast all at the same time and combine all of those audiences into one super stream. Now look at Greg's face. He's nervous as hell. There's reasons, but I'm going to try to calm him down because it will be the greatest one GadgetCast ever. We just need I'm gonna
DM John Prosser. If he tells me it's a bad idea,
okay,
not happening.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. I'll go with it.
He won't though. He won't.
I'll take Prosser's word.
Regardless, if you are new to the stream, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're new to the podcast, I mean, thank you. I mean, tell people, please. We'd like to have thousands more listeners.
Spread the good word. Come on,
spread the good word. Make sure you tell all your friends about the YouTube channel. Of course, it's GadgetCast on YouTube. So just search us up, youtube.com/GadgetCast. In the show notes is a link to Phone Soap. Get it as soon as possible in the description of the YouTube channel. Same thing. Get it as soon as possible. It's going to be out. And of course, we love having you here. Now, for people in the live stream, we have a little bit of a post show, so hang tight. Everyone else, we're going to catch you next week. You're on the GadgetCast. He's Greg. I'm Travis. Peace and love. Recording has stopped, and we into the post show, baby.
All right, let me let me give you guys some inside information on a GadgetCast edit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Every week I do edit the audio podcast a little bit. I'm just kind of like matching up where Travis's audio is and where mine is, kind of syncing it together. And it's hit or miss. Sometimes Travis hits his record button really hard at the end, and there's like an extra thump that I have to cut out. But it's not always there. So it's kind of fun for me to listen to see if the thump is there. And sometimes Travis is like, hit it hard. I heard it on my end this time, so I think I'm gonna get a thump for this week's recording.
I did hit it pretty hard because it's been a couple of weeks.
It's exciting, right? But the buttons on the Roadcaster, they're so fun to hit. I didn't hit one this whole show.
Yeah. Said the Flip is two selling phone. I think it means top selling phone right now. Chris, let me out. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. After party, baby.
Hey, real quick.
What's this? Food. Angel Danger saying food.
You can wait. Listen, thanks to this is a record-breaking GadgetCast for the live stream, and like awesome. I was telling Travis to tell you before the show. I'm like, I don't know, like maybe no one's gonna show up. We're an hour early. We haven't been on for a week, so wow. It's awesome.
That was good. I'm not surprised though, because we have more subscribers than we did last time.
So surprised.
I also put it in my
feed. Yeah, you did share in your community tab. So
yeah, which didn't hurt. So yeah, no, I mean I'm excited.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
I don't like it, but I'm happy.
You can't tell with Greg. He's happy though.
And I'm sorry. I have that like resting face where people think I'm always angry. People are like, oh, you're upset. I'm like, no, I'm happy. I'm really happy. I swear.
Let me out of the basement.
Whoa! What?
Get both at the same time. If you have all the money,
stock up now.
Yeah, get it while you can
before the shortage. You'd be making profits when the phone shortage gets bad enough. People could be like, I need my Twitter. This will be more expensive than drugs. People, come on.
Oh, you got me locked in while the Lakers versus Clippers game. All right, I see you. I see you. Yeah, so I think what we'll see here is when the iPhone 9 is released, depending on what day, we'll maybe do like an emergency gadget cast. I think that's appropriate. We'll have to find a time.
We were going to plan to do like a live event for the March event. And I guess that's canceled.
Canceled.
But we'll come live with the GadgetCast when it's announced. You get like I said in the podcast, I view these as a unique opportunity. Some people get upset, like, oh, there's no event. But you know what? Well, I'm like, well, people are going to be looking for like tons of information now because there is no event. So come watch my video. I'll give you all the information about whatever products they announce. And same with Travis. I'm sure he'll have some videos coming up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right, everybody. We appreciate you greatly. It's been really, we gotta go. So we greatly appreciate your time. And if you haven't listened to the audio, our audio quality on the audio podcast is amazing. Shout out to Greg for always making sure that gets done correctly. So see us tomorrow. Peace and love, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.